Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fan Station podcast, where we talk about anything and a little bit of everything with you, the fans. My name is Accordion, and I will be your host for this entire series. So sit in, get relaxed, listen, as today I'm joined by my good friend Kululin.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going, yes.
Okay. All right. Is this where you want to talk small talk or like what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's my day, right? Day, week. I'll just say week.
It's something of that nature.
Yeah. Just basically a lot of like work, driving to and from places, delivering food, sweating because I'm on a diet, and I guess just coming back to like I don't know, play video games with like people because that's what my life consists of. Other than that, no huge changes. I mean, it's kind of Christmas time, so I'm kind of worried about what to get my mom for Christmas.
Oh, you get gifts for your mom? Ugh. How dare you be a good doer?
Listen, she's like the only person I give a fuck about and the only person I want to actually get a present for, all right? Like, I'm not going to get a present for literally anyone else in my family. It's just going to be my mom. So, like, I don't know.
It's perfectly fine. I'm just giving you shit.
Oh, I know you are. Trust me. I know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah?
I didn't know you were going to
Well, I didn't know that you were going to continue. You got anything else you want to add?
Christmas
Yeah?
time.
It do be Christmas time. Thanks for dating the timing of this recording.
Is that matter? Do you give a fuck? I don't understand why other
not
podcasts
really, to be
give a
honest.
fuck about like dating. Like, is it like unless you're gonna use like pop culture references or something? Is it a problem to date stuff? That's never.
No, it really isn't. I think it's just personally kind of funny.
I always just wonder why some podcasts like don't date the podcast. Why not? What does it matter?
Oh God, they're gonna figure out all our secrets.
Oh God, they're gonna realize that we record this beforehand. It's not live.
How horrifying. But before we jump into today's topic, care to say a little bit about yourself in general, who you are?
Yeah, sure. My name is Kululin. That is my online name. It's not my real name. Okay, so
Yeah, because obviously my real name is Accordion, and everybody knows it.
never know.
Care to tell people how you spell your name?
Kululun. Are you gonna stop me, or are you just gonna let me continue?
No, just keep going. You have fun with that, my guy. It's called the power of editing.
There's an in at the end of some of that. I don't know.
You've forgotten I.
I said in. There's not an N. There's an in.
I-N.
Yes, in, as in the letters I-N. The two letters that spell.
No. I said spell it, not say words.
God. Anyway, my name's Kululin. I fucking deliver food for a living. I'm an asshole. I'm attempting to stream and be an influencer and help others. And besides that, I would really want to become a writer one day. Writing to me is a I don't want to say passion, but like ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to write something personal to myself, and I hope it's a goal that I can accomplish one day. And it's led me to loving movies and stuff like that, because I love watching movies and generally just like talking to others about the plot, so much so that they get absolutely annoyed by how often I can go into plot summaries about movies. And you have no idea how many hours upon hours upon hours, I could talk about movies.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue to our topic, which is the MCU.
What does the MCU stand for?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
You were the one that you're supposedly the fan of. That's why you're on the podcast.
So I was really quickly trying to come up with another acronym for like MCU, like monkeys cocking uteruses, or I don't know, like.
Yes, the monkeys cocking uterus coming this fall.
I was trying to think of something, and I was like, monkey cock, no, not monkey cock, stop it, monkey cock, no.
God, that sounds horrifying as hell. But yes, we're going to be talking about the MCU in its entirety, all the way from our humble beginnings back in, what was it, 2008? 2007? Yeah.
2008.
All right, and all the way to the current Phase 4, which is something.
You don't know what it is. You don't watch it.
You don't gotta call me out like that. What the fuck? What the fuck, man?
I will. I am your friend, and I will call you the fuck out on things that you don't watch. You don't know the fandom. You don't know why I'm a fan.
That's why we're here. That's literally why we're here, to find out more about these fandoms. So, without much further ado, could you please, in excruciating long detail, tell me what exactly is the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, so I wrote this down myself. This is definitely not from Wikipedia, so like, don't go fact check me or anything like that. This is what
I have to go do.
No,
that,
don't fact check me or anything like that. Okay, so the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU for short, is an American media franchise, my words, and shared universe centered on a series of superhero films produced by Marvel Studios. The films are based on characters that appear in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. The franchise also includes television series, short films, digital series, and literature. The shared universe, much like the original Marvel universe in comic books, was established by crossing over common plot elements, settings, cast, and characters. My words.
All from Wikipedia.
No.
Encyclopedia.
No, my words. I wrote all those.
Yeah, definitely.
They edited it. They stole my words. I wrote those down back in 2007 before the MCU was even a thing. And they stole my words and put them on Wikipedia.
Absolutely brilliant. I shouldn't have doubted you for a single second.
Yes.
So that's what the MCU is, in a nice brief summary there.
So in people English, in common tongue, the MCU is just it's a series of like movies and TV shows now that are like interconnected, and it's all about the characters revolving the Marvel Comics characters. Iron Man, Spider-Man, stuff like that. All those comic book characters. Not Superman, because that's DC and bad.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say bad. You're overstepping.
I'm saying Superman's bad.
Well, Superman specifically, I'm not a fan of him. But that's regardless of that. So, Marvel Comics, it was originally created by Stan Lee and I believe Steve
Ditko.
Ditko, yeah.
Not Dipko, Ditko.
I can speak. Calm down.
I'm trying to correct you. You dip?
Don't correct me on my old podcast. Who do you think you are?
The person that's a fan of this shit.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. All right, and with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, do you think the movies take heavily from the comics and try to follow it to a T, or is it more like how most movies are, where they take the franchise in itself and try to create their own new story with it, with very loosely tied, uh, connections to, oh yeah, this is their origin, kind of, sorta, but we're gonna change it to make it our own thing.
Definitely, that's the second thing you said, because like the MCU tends to it takes like storylines that exist in the comics, but it does not. It is they are never ever have never been comic accurate at all. Like, to give you a brief like idea of how like not comic, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad, but like to give you a brief idea of how not comic book accurate they are. Do you know Avengers Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
In the movie, Thanos, he wants to get the Infinity Stones, so that he can erase half of all life in an attempt to let the other half prosper. Like, he posits a future where like populations grow so massive that they eventually end up falling because they can't continue to produce enough to like give to the widespread population. So that's why he wants to reduce the population in an attempt to help people. Well, in the comic books, his reason to wiping out like half of all life is that he wants to fuck death.
I remember hearing about that, and I just think it's fucking amazing, hilarious. Personally, I really enjoy the comics. There's only a few of them that I've read here and there, but it just, some of the wildest shit happens in them, and I'm just like, they would never put that in a movie.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so sometimes it's good like that, right? It's much better that Thanos doesn't want to fuck death.
I don't know. Have you seen Death?
I don't care. I'm just, listen. Doesn't matter. Marvel Cinematic Universe gave him a better reason to erasing half of all life, right?
I agree.
But it's again, it's not always for the better. Sometimes it's for worse, I would say, because I don't think I have an outward example right now. But I believe the original. No, I think it's done better in Civil War. Yeah, I don't really have an example right now, but like, there's a lot of characters that were just like left out of the Infinity saga, and like characters that whose whole existence relied on the idea that they want to stop Thanos, and they weren't even introduced during the Thanos arc. He's gone now, so it's just weird that they didn't show up. But yeah, like, they change stuff for the good, or for good. They change stuff for bad. Some characters are fucking outright garbage. Some characters are made much better. But I would say that they only borrow loose storylines from the comics, and not whole things.
All right, that makes sense. Because I mean, I guess at the end of the day, not a lot of people want a exact retelling of. I mean, given how short comics can be, it's kind of hard to fit everything exactly within a movie in itself. You have to cut certain things, or you have to change certain things to fit within a specific audience. I mean, like, with our example with Infinity War, if it's, what is it, PG-13, something of that nature?
Probably.
Yeah, and if the reason was, I want to do this so I can impress Death, so I can fuck her. I think that would be more of a R-rated movie.
Sorry, I'm just imagining, like, Thanos like during the whole entire movie, like, you know, talking to Iron Man, and Iron Man's like, "Why are you doing this?" And Thanos is like, "I just want to fuck, man. That's all, bro. Like, don't be a cockblock, man."
Thanos is feeling very down bad. All right, so with it, as I said, it started back in 2008. What movie was the first one?
So before before I talk about the first movie, is it fine to go into a little bit about the background behind the MCU, just in general?
Of course, of course.
So maybe this is something you didn't know, but back in the 90s, I believe. Let me go ahead and pull up my tab here. Like Marvel actually went bankrupt, right? What is it? Let's see. I have a tab right here. Between 1993 and 1996, revenues from comics and trading cards began to collapse. So, like, Marvel wasn't really making a lot of money back in the 90s, just because, like, people didn't give a shit about comic books or anything like that. And this would eventually, I think this led into the reason why they sold the movie licenses over to certain studios. So for those wondering why Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, and like Fox owned the rights to the X-Men, and Universal Studios owns the rights to Hulk, is because Marvel basically went bankrupt in the 90s and sold those characters to help them stay afloat, right? So, you know, that happened in the 90s. What ended up happening is they saw the success of certain movies, like the Raimi Spider-Man movies, the X-Men movies, obviously made by other companies. And what Marvel thought is they can create their own movies, right? So they opened up their own studio under the name Marvel Studios. And what they did was a real gamble, right? So I think, was it 2005 or 2006? Sometime around that time frame, they actually got in touch with... Yeah, in 2005, Marvel managed to make a deal with Merrill Lynch. Marvel was essentially offering up the jewels of its business, characters like Thor and Captain America as collateral. If the films didn't make money, those superheroes would suddenly belong to the bank. So basically, Marvel was risking the rights to some of its now super popular characters that the MCU would succeed. Like they were risking it in the hopes that these movies would excel and make them enough money to pay back this large loan that they gave the bank, right? Or that the bank gave them. And like the CEO at Marvel's, I believe, actually gave the reins to I don't believe he's the CEO, but I believe he's the showrunner, Kevin Feige. He the CEO allowed Kevin Feige to basically control the MCU as a whole. You could say he was the puppet master, right? And he had an idea to bring together Earth's mightiest superheroes. He had the idea to, since they had so many Marvel characters to to themselves. He thought it best if they could create a series of movies where the superheroes all like coexisted, thus forming the original idea of the MCU. And I believe in 2006 or 2007, hold on, research, production, in 2005, Marvel Studios worked to start development from scratch on Iron Man. The Iron Man came out in 2008, and it was like released and it succeeded. But like, man, dude, I'm not sure if you're aware. Do you know the like a little bit of history about Robert Downey Jr.?
No.
So Robert Downey Jr. Is the lead actor in Iron Man. He obviously plays Tony Stark, Iron Man himself. And he was like really into drugs. He like his early career. Like I specifically looked this up, and I had to like mention this like when we were talking here because I just thought it was super like it's a quote, man. It's a quote. So this is from Wikipedia. From 1996 through 2001, Downey was arrested numerous times on charges related to drugs, including cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. He went through drug treatment programs unsuccessfully, explaining in 1999 to a judge, "It's like I have a shotgun in my mouth, and I've got my finger on the trigger, and I like the taste of the gunmetal." Like,
oh, that is an interesting quote. I mean,
so this was their gambit, right? They wanted to put everything on the line, their characters, and like back in those days, I remember just like people talking. Like I remember the trailers, right? And I remember just people not knowing or thinking that it wouldn't succeed, right? I mean, they got Robert Downey Jr. For years. He was like addicted to like drugs, you know. Like he was so bad into it. Like the Wikipedia like talks about how he'd been like addicted to drugs since the age of 8 because his father was a piece of shit, and like gave them to him. So like, Jesus Christ.
yeah, that would fuck a kid up.
Yeah. So like, you know, this is like all widespread knowledge. Like he had like, you know, started to clean up his act in like the early 2000s, I believe. But like by 2008, you know, like people weren't really sure he was ready to really like hold the reins of this huge, massive franchise that Marvel wanted to build, right? And so yeah, like in a lot of people's eyes, this was not going to work. This was not going to succeed. This was going to crash and burn hard, and it would be the end of Marvel, is what people were saying back then. And now Marvel, you know, the MCU is worth a total of $25 billion.
Jesus, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, their gamble worked out, and it went swimmingly for them. Still is, and I remember reading about a few years ago, actually, Stanley had like this biopic basically about himself. Not a movie, but like, I guess it's not a biopic. It's a memoir. That's what it is. But it was done in like, fuck. Well, what is the fucking type of books are? Basically, he made a comic. He made a comic, in a sense, about his own life. It was done in that type of style.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember that, you know, whenever it was in the 90s when I was saying that Marvel had went bankrupt. Not for the first time, but, you know, it went bankrupt again. And, like, I don't remember anything after that, but I just remember, like, whenever you brought it up, I'm like, no, I remember that because I read that somewhere.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like Marvel is a household name. All these like Marvel characters are like fully beloved, but a lot of people just, I don't think, realize just how much of a gambit it was. Like the characters they used, even like if you think Marvel characters, everyone likes, you know, Iron Man might be really popular, but like in the 2000s, he was not popular, man. No one knew fucking Iron Man. I never watched the Iron Man show when I was a cartoon. When I was a kid. I never watched the Iron Man cartoon when I was a kid. Like, I knew nothing about Iron Man. Absolutely nothing. I didn't know much about Captain America. I didn't know anything about Thor. I didn't know that much about Hulk either. Like, these were the 4 characters that launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe. but like, like Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America were all B-rated characters. The most popular one of those was the Hulk. But like, even still, the Hulk is no like Spider-Man. The Hulk is no X-Men. So they were really, really like risking it, and like so much so that they were still like dealing with like other studios at the time, because back then, like, they didn't have their own like uh production set, I believe, because the first Iron Man, if you go back and watch that, is like Paramount Pictures. And then like the Incredible Hulk, who's owned by Universal Studios, like they were working with Universal Studios, and like apparently it didn't go so well. That's why they've never made another Incredible Hulk movie, just because they don't like dealing with other studios. I mean, they'll do it with Spider-Man because Spider-Man, but with other characters, they don't want to do it.
If I remember correctly, whenever Universal did acquire the Hulk, they did end up making a movie, and I think that's part of the reason why Hulk was still in everybody's mind as one of the most popular, because a movie did come out before that.
Well, it's that and like the 70s show, the 80s show, the one with like the wrestler guy, Loof. I can't remember his name.
I have no clue.
Hulk TV show. Lou Ferrigno.
I'm still lost on that.
You don't know he even showed up in the movie.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, he was a cameo. He was like a security guard in the movie. Edward Norton went up and said,
he's a wrestler, right?
I believe he was a wrestler. He's a big, strong
guy. That's kind of why I don't know, because that's not something I follow.
Yeah, he was a wrestler back then.
The only wrestlers I would know is like Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan,
John Cena,
yeah,
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
yeah,
Dave Bautista.
No, I forgot about Dave. Anyway, what about him?
What about who?
The guy that you brought up the Hulk TV show about.
Oh no, I was just mentioning that's a large reason why Hulk was in the public consciousness.
But didn't you say that was back in the 80s?
I believe 80s. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that had much to apply to it then.
Well, it made Hulk well known enough to make the Ang Lee movie in, what was that, 2003 or something like that? I've only ever seen that movie one time in my life, and I was that fucking kid. So
yeah, but I think I've only seen it twice. But so Hulk was basically their strongman, and once they had covered the origins of these movies, when exactly did they make the first Avengers film where they would actually take them and combine them and have them all on screen?
I believe that was 2012. Hold on. Avengers. I believe it was not Avengers Endgame. I don't want to know about. Okay, yeah, 2012. The first thing on fucking Google just popped up. Do you want to know about Avengers Endgame?
Yeah.
No.
So with those, was it only the 4 movies, or were there some other side ones aside from that? So we got like Iron Man, Captain America.
So the first phase of the MCU, the MCU is broken up into phases. Phase 1, 2, 3, and it just finished the 4th one. It's about to start its 5th one with the new Ant-Man movie. Comes out next year or whatever.
God, already?
Yep. Anyway,
wow.
So phase 1, it had 6 movies in it. It was Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, and that led into the Avengers.
Damn, Iron Man 1 and 2?
Yeah, it's something I always tend to forget about as well. But like, I mean, it is kind of a plot in that it's kind of one of the like 10 plots going on in that movie that like he's not ready to join the Avengers or some shit. Even though Nick Fury came into his house in the first movie, he was like, "Hey, you want to be an Avenger?"
Yeah, he's like, well, what the hell is an Avenger? But all right, I see what it is, and from there the entire universe is just kind of expanded, and now we got what fucking 20+ characters.
Oh my god, so much more than that, man. There's so many fucking. I could probably name more than 20 characters off the top of my head.
I mean, yeah, but I mean just like that have their own movies.
Oh, yeah, probably. I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah, but we get a lot of good stuff from that too. I guess at the end of the day, what really kind of pulled you into the MCU in itself? Like, I was it something that just happened to be on TV and you saw it and just like, oh, I like this, and I'm just gonna keep following it. What's as I like to note here, your villainous backstory on getting into the MCU.
My villainous backstory, easy. I hate people. So yeah, I see villains like Green Goblin. He's like, Spider-Man, people really fucking suck and we're gods, so we should kill them. And I'm just like, you know what, Goblin? You got a point. Yeah, fuck people.
I guess the Sam Raimi films are technically part of the MCU.
Oh, I'm talking about something he said from No Way Home.
Well, I mean, that counts.
Yeah, of course, No Way Home counts. Anyway, so, I grew up as like a loner, right? I didn't have a lot of connection with anybody really, but I did watch a lot of like cartoons when I was a kid. And some of the cartoons that I remember and still love to this day were like the Spider-Man 90s cartoon. It was the original like X-Men cartoon. Then X-Men Evolution is one I watched. I don't remember what time that came out, but I honestly like I can't get Spike out of my brain for some reason. He's just like living in my brain rent free for absolutely no reason. And sometimes I'm just like, ooh, Spike, why are you get out of there? I'm trying to think about other things. I'm trying to think about sex, Spike. Why are you in my mind, Spike? Get out of here.
No, you have to deal with me, Spike. I don't remember what he sounds like.
He's a fucking, like, teenager. He didn't sound like that.
No, obviously all teenagers sound like that. You hit puberty, all of a sudden I sound like this now.
So there's that. There was the Batman animated series that I watched. I love Batman. He's cool. There was Batman... Not Forever. No,
Begins?
the Batman Begins. Wait, no, not that one. No, wait, no, the cartoon, the other one with the other guy that like took over.
Beyond.
Beyond.
Batman
There
Beyond.
you go. Like
Yep.
I'm always forgetting the name of it. There was that one. There was Static Shock, and I wrote this down because I thought it was worth mentioning. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now they aren't superheroes, but they're basically superheroes. Man.
They're basically like heroes, and I mean, to be honest, they have a few crossovers with actual heroes, so I think it works.
Yeah, like the Transformers.
They actually have a Batman crossover too.
Oh yeah, I actually remember watching a video about that. I was like, it's so fucking weird, man. But yeah, they're basically superheroes, right? These are things I really enjoyed as I was growing up, but also something I wanted to note down is that when I was a kid, under the age of 10, I had a fucking love for Power Rangers, right? The Power Rangers, specifically the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like, and I think I watched Power Rangers up until like they started traveling in time or some shit. But like, I loved the Power Rangers when I was a kid. I dressed up as one of the Power Rangers for Halloween one year. I had Power Rangers toys. I had the Megazords. And let's not kid ourselves. Power Rangers are basically superheroes as well. Like you put Ant-Man
Well,
next
yeah.
to like one of the fucking like Power Rangers that basically have the same costume. Fuck it, you know, like
It's
like,
just, one of them shrinks.
yeah. So like I love the Power Rangers so much, and I don't care. Like even when the new like Power Rangers movie came out, like I don't know how long ago that was, but the one with Bryan Cranston being like Zordon or whatever, like. Man, that movie ain't good, but I still liked it because I just love Power Rangers for some fucking reason. I don't know what it is. I just have it like brings me back to a sense of childhood and like just like childlike wonderment. Like when I was a kid, I believe it was around Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving Day when like my brother and sister were like playing around, and my younger brother got on my older sister's shoulders, and they were like playing with me, like they were gonna come get me, we're gonna come get you, Kulu. And I backed away. I ended up slipping, and we had a glass table in our living room at the time, so I ended up slipping the back of my head in the glass table, and really cracked my skull.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood, right? And I was crying all over the place. Like, it really, really hurt. So, like, my parents, they got me. They drove me to the hospital. We got me into emergency care. And, like, what ended up happening is I needed staples into the back of my head. So, like, like, I don't exactly remember what happened, obviously, since I do not know how old I was. I'm definitely like, I was out of diapers, so it must have been like 6, 7, sometime around that. Yeah, I think it's 6 or 7. But like, I still have this like weird gash on the back of my head, like a scar that you can feel if you like feel right there, just from when it all happened. And I just remember crying and crying and crying and crying because, like the pain hurt. It hurts getting bonking your head in the back of a glass table and blood being everywhere and damaging your young mind and stuff. And there's something that did get me to stop crying, though. I believe it was my dad. My dad came like rushing in, because he wanted to, get me something because, this was around Thanksgiving, so my birthday probably just happened or it was around the corner from happening. So he rushed in and he had a toy with him. And it was one of the new action figures for Power Rangers. That shit got me to shut up so fucking fast. I would not shut the fuck up with crying. But when I saw that Power Rangers toy, I was just like, oh my God, Power Rangers. They're so cool.
It just distracted your young mind. It's like, wait a second. Power Rangers! Power Rangers! Power Rangers! You're like the guy from SpongeBob when he's like, chocolate!
I love the Power Rangers, man. They were so fucking cool. And whenever I see clips of it now, I'm just like, dude, this is so fucking like dorky. It's so fucking stupid. Why the fuck did I enjoy it so much? But like, God,
it's nostalgic for you now.
I know it is. It is. I'd probably watch it and like know it's stupid and still enjoy it just because that sense of like childhood wonderment just like comes back whenever I watch the Power Rangers. So like when I was a kid, I just loved superhero bullshit, like I loved it so fucking much. And this would go into like, when I started to, so I was born in 1992, and by the time the Raimi Spider-Man movies came out, that was 2001 that Spider-Man one came out?
I think it was. If not, it was 2000. No, it definitely wasn't 2002, so it had to be one.
Yeah, I think it was 2001 or 2002, one of those times. But like, it came out around that time, and I was about 9 or 10, probably the first time I watched that Spider-Man movie, and oh man, I love Spider-Man, man, I love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's so good.
Like the Raimi trilogy specifically, like holds a special place in my heart just because, and like, I don't like Tobey Maguire. Just like, he is my Spider-Man, man. Like, he's my Spider-Man. Well, he's my Peter Parker. He's the best Peter Parker. He's not the best admittedly, he's not the best Spider-Man, but I don't care. He's my Spider-Man. And like, everything about those movies besides Kirsten Dunst is like great. Like, I love those movies. I just loved every part about them. I loved the villains. I loved, like, I don't know. I had this Green Goblin toy when I was like 11 or something. 11, 10, I must have been. And like, yeah, this cool like glider thing. Like, these are things that happened in my life that I still remember to this day. And I'm 30 years old. I just turned 30 years old, and I remember a fucking toy that I had when I was 10 years old. That's 20 years ago. And I remember this toy down to the last fucking detail. I remember this goddamn Green Goblin toy. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember holding it, and I almost wish I still had it. If I still had it, if I found it, like, suddenly, like, it's long gone because we've, like, moved houses since then. But, like, if I found it, I think it would bring one single tear to my eye. And like, that kind of like carries into, you know, me liking the like the some of the early X-Men movies. That carries into me liking the Dark Knight trilogy. I can't remember the name of the Christopher Nolan. Those movies started coming out, and like, you know, like Dark Knight was really good, and you know, when the MCU started in 2008, I don't think it like really hit me at first, but like, you know, I watched Iron Man, and I liked it. I watched the Hulk, I watched Thor, I watched Captain America, and then it like led into the Avengers. And when I saw the Avengers, I was just like, yo, what? Like, this is like a real fucking thing? Are you yeah, it was that point when I was like, this is like real. This is like a shot of adrenaline. Like, it's just like, this is adrenaline to like superhero like lovers, you know? Like, I don't know when it was that I started to watch every movie on like release date. Because I don't believe, like, I didn't have a lot of friends up until like, I don't know, some odd years ago. So I want to say it wasn't until like, I think just before the release of Black Panther. Was it Black Panther? Or was it maybe just after Age of Ultron? Maybe it was Civil War. I don't know. Sometime around that time, when I just started watching every movie on release date. When it came out, me and my friends got tickets, and we went to go see it the day of release. Like, every single like movie, every single movie, like Civil War, Ant-Man, Spider-Man, like Infinity War. I remember how hard it was to find good seats for Endgame, and like we looked and looked and looked for 4 seats in a row, because me and like 3 other guys, like, we wanted to go see it, and like we were making sure that we could be one of the first people to go buy a goddamn ticket to go watch Endgame on opening night, because Endgame was going to be the shit, and we knew it. And so we found tickets. We went there on the day of release, and like, we were set. And boy, do I not fucking regret it. Like, I could tell you that when I got to go see like Infinity War and like Endgame, and like, you know, I'm not typically the kind of person that likes to make noise during a movie. You know? Like, I like to sit there quietly, and I expect everyone else to shut the fuck up, because, you know, there's other people around, and I'm trying to watch a fucking movie, you know? Like, if everyone likes laughing at a joke that happens in the movie, that's fine, you know? Like, you know, you're obviously not going to stop yourself from laughing. Yeah. But
stop yourself from choking.
You know, but if I hate it when back in like 2011 when me and my sister went to go see the opening release of like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And like I hated that shit, man. I hated that shit so much. People were so obnoxious. Any character came out on screen and they're like, "Ooh, is that Ron?" And it's
that's so annoying.
Is that Neville Longbottom? Like, shut the fuck up. Trying to watch this movie.
Is that Dobby? Oh wait, he died.
There's a scene in the fucking final movie where like Ron's mom like blows like up Bellatrix Lestrange, and like I fucking remember this because like I have a like I just hate it so much, and like Ron's mom's like, "Take that, you bitch," and just kills her. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking badass.
I mean, yeah, sure. Firstly, she did deserve that kill though. It should have been Neville's kill, but
yeah.
Secondly, it's just like everyone was like, "Yeah, woo!" It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch this movie. God damn it. Like, it's not that exciting. It's not Harry Potter killing Voldemort or some shit. Shut the fuck up.
Did they actually yell when he did that?
When he beat, I think when he beat Voldemort, like, it was much more calm moment in the scene, whereas when Ron's mom killed Bellatrix, like,
it was all power and intense.
Yeah, firstly, out of fucking nowhere. It's not they were having some big wizard duel or some shit like that. It's like Bellatrix, like, hurt one of, like, her, like, children, and then Ron's mom came out of nowhere and was like, "What are you doing, you bitch?" and just killed her, like, bam. I don't know.
I think there was a small battle, but it lasted for, like, a total of maybe a minute.
It just wasn't very exciting. I don't know. Anyway, like there's moments like that where that happens in movies, and I just won't get like excited, and I don't understand why people get like all uppity. And I get that they're fans and stuff like that. I like obviously like fans are allowed to be excited about whatever you're gonna be excited about, but like I don't know. I do like to be very 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 considerate of others, but like that kind of didn't happen with Avengers Endgame. You know, with Avengers Endgame, you get to the end of that movie where there's just so much shit happening back to back. And it's just like one of the most like hype audience reactions that I've ever been a part of. Like, and I went to a whole like esports like fucking like championship, and like people were going crazy about this like fucking League of Legends game. I think it happened. I don't know where my shirt is. It probably tell me. Wait. Oh no, this is not it. Oh man, sorry, never mind. I just remembered where my fucking League of Legends hoodie is. But like people were so fucking excited about that League of Legends match, but like somehow when I watched fucking like the whole Staples Center was sold out in this fucking League of Legends match, and it was like a huge fucking game. Like, this doesn't mean anything to you, or maybe it doesn't mean anything to anybody else, but like it was like best of 5, and they got to the 5th game, and it seemed like it was gonna be anyone's match. Like, it was crazy, but like the excitement for Avengers Endgame was just it just felt like it was it's like so energetic. And like when Captain America like got Mjolnir and just like beat the fucking shit out of Thanos, and like everyone just got up and went woo. It was just like, yeah baby, that's what I've been waiting for. Yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah baby.
Anyway,
that's what I've been waiting for.
When that happened, it just, I don't know, like this is why I love the MCU. And like it just kicked ass. Like, I haven't ever had a movie experience like that in my fucking life. And like, I don't know, they kind of just get excitement. They got like, I mean, that movie was just made for the fans, but it was like made like perfectly made for the fans. Maybe it's not the best plot wise. Like there's like plot holes and you know, some like really funky stuff, and maybe some characters didn't get to shine that really needed the time to shine. But overall, it just exceeded all expectations, and like from where it started to like it Endgame, it was just, I don't know. I like.
It's really quite the story of a company putting everything that they have into one last jump at trying to get, back to where they were, where they wanted to be, a last desperate grasp at trying to stay relevant. And it just, that one gamble exploded and became literally multi-billion. And it is honestly quite a testament to how dedicated they were to create as good movies as they did.
And then they went and fucked it up with Phase 4.
Well, all right. I guess that brings me to a good point here. We're going to tackle what you think the worst part of the MCU is. Everybody is a fan of something. Everybody has a fandom, something they love so deeply, but at the same time, there's something within that fandom. Maybe you don't feel it yourself, but a vast majority of the other people within that community can just absolutely despise and hate and just either turn a blind eye towards it, don't want to speak about it, is horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be?
So when you gave me this question, I was really I had to put some real thought into it, right? So like, I'm not sure if you're expecting me to say like Phase 4, because like Phase 4 of the MCU is rough, but like it's just how I personally feel. Like I do see a lot of people that still like Phase 4 is just divisive and whatever. But like there's the half of people that really love it, and there's the half of people that really dislike it, and I fall into the latter of really disliking it. And I'm hoping it picks up so I like can get that like full out energy that I had during Endgame again. But if I was going to trace the number one thing that is unanimously disliked in the entirety of the MCU, there is one thing. There is one thing that pops up in my mind frequently. One thing that I know that everyone almost universally agrees is the worst that the MCU has to offer. And I can tell you they're fucking wrong. The number one thing that fucking fans complain about the most, it's always like, well, this was bad, but at least it's not Thor the Dark World. Thor the Dark World is the second Thor movie. And the plot's, Thor. Okay, how do I explain the plot of like the Dark World?
I'll jump in here real quick. I'm going to let you know, I personally haven't watched it, and I didn't know it was that hated. Like I heard things here and there. It's just like, oh, it's not that good. It's mid. It's okay, but is it really that hated?
Yes, and on everyone's fucking list. Like I could tell you, and I was like really into the subreddit during the last like I want to say between like the end of 2019 to I think this year, sometime around this year is when I stopped looking at the subreddit, just because I just got this is the year when I stopped like being a super Marvel fanboy. But like at the top of everyone's list, or I guess at the bottoms of everyone's list, everyone's always talking about like how Thor the Dark World is always the worst movie in the MCU. And like it's not a great movie. I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and tell you that Thor the Dark World is good. It's not a good movie, right? But I will sit here and say that Thor the Dark World is not the worst movie. Like, it is not the worst thing that's come out of the MCU. And the plot's very very like simple. Thor's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever I don't fucking remember honestly.
Jane?
Yeah, Jane Foster. She like discovers some like portal that opens up this like evil thing called the Aether, which reawakens this race of beings called the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves go and attack Asgard. They blow it the fuck up. They're after the Aether. You know, it's one of the Infinity Stones basically. It's very powerful. It's the Reality Stone. Essentially. So they want the power of the Reality Stone, and currently it lives inside Jane. Don't ask me why or how or whatever.
Weird
doesn't matter.
Plot point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you remember this from Endgame, but like, there's a scene where like fucking Rocket like shoves like something, like shoves a needle in her and sucks up the Aether or whatever.
The fuck?
Yeah,
no, I don't remember that at all.
There's a scene in Endgame where she's like sleeping, which is like they didn't actually get Natalie Portman for the movie. They just like got
a body double.
No, they didn't even get a body double. They just used they used extra footage or like cut footage from Thor: The Dark World.
Are you shitting me?
No, this is really what happened. Yeah, they used extra footage and they just kind of like. I don't think they really like CGI'd Rocket in, but like,
well, I mean, he's CGI anyway, technically.
Well, yeah, but I don't exactly remember what exactly happened.
It might have been something rotoscoping wise.
Well, whatever. He fucking like I don't think you see it, but it's like more than just implied that he just like jabs her with a needle to like suck up the Aether out of her. But yeah, the elves are after the Aether that currently is in Jane. They managed to do it, and the villain of the movie, Malekith, he has the power of the Reality Stone in him. He goes to attack Earth for some reason, and then Thor beats him, and that's kind of just the plot of the movie. It's not a very great plot. The villain's boring. The side characters suck. All the human characters suck ass. Like, they have one of the worst fucking like comic relief characters in the movie. And then her comic relief character has like a sidekick, so her being a comic relief has like a comic relief character. It's really fucking weird.
That sounds painful.
It is painful, man. It's not. I'm not here to say Thor: The Dark World is great. It's not. It's a bad movie, but it is not the worst movie, right? There are some Marvel movies that I've seen. And you know, I talked about this earlier that I like writing. I look heavily into the plots of these movies, right? And there's a couple movies in the MCU that I think are just that don't have anything to offer. You know, the comedy's fine, but like nothing super special that I haven't laughed more out of another Marvel movie. The plot, you know, there's some that plots make no fucking sense, or they're just doing something wild, and they have absolutely nothing of value. Whereas I think Thor: The Dark World has at least something of value. The comedy is cringe. The bad guy is crap. The plot is simple. But there's one shining, glimmering hope to Thor: The Dark World. And I'm just going to go ahead and take you back to the idea of, I'm going to go ahead and play the events of a certain character that appears in Thor: The Dark World that I think is the best part of the movie. And I'm going to talk about Loki. Loki, Tom Hiddleston, he is fantastic. Loki is somewhat of a tragic character. Like, I'm not sure if you know the full story of Loki in the MCU, but he started as a frost giant, and like he was adopted by Odin into, you know, the Odinson family, which is something he or Thor didn't know. Don't ask me why this frost giant, these people that are supposed to be blue and, you know, icy, ended up looking like a human, but, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Gods, you know how it is.
I guess, whatever. But like, yeah, so he's always despised Thor, and Odin, because Thor is, like his blood child and Loki's adopted, and like he's always had this view that like, and maybe I relate to Loki in a lot of ways like this. He looks at his brother and he just sees that his father loves him so much more. And like Thor is like, in the first movie he's kind of like a fucking brat. He's like a frat boy, he destroys shit. He wants to just like constantly like fight shit, and
just very arrogant and self-centered.
yeah, to the detriment of the of Asgard, and like Loki like sees this, and he he's jealous. He doesn't like Thor. It's the whole reason why he kind of like betrays Thor in the first movie, and like kind of sets himself on a path of like villainy, because he's just, and I think the MCU does this really well of giving you a whole idea about why Loki is the way that he is, just because he never felt a lot of love growing up, or just felt like he just like couldn't do as well as his brother, and so he lashed out in like acts of like villainy in order to like get the attention that he felt like he deserved, like in like this is a good example in the Loki TV show. It's kind of like prompted like what was his plan if he like succeeded, and like he doesn't really know. I don't know if you ever watched Megamind or something, but like Megamind, in that movie, he like succeeds in killing Metro Man, and then he doesn't have a purpose after that. He just feels empty on the inside, and like that's kind of in the same business that Loki is. Like even if he succeeded, it wouldn't make him happy. He didn't necessarily want to be evil or anything like that. He just, I don't know, felt like that was the only purpose that he was like meant for. But like, despite disliking his father and disliking Thor, Loki did actually have a strong connection with his mother, Frigga. And I think what's really interesting about the Dark World, getting back to that movie, Loki is kept as a prisoner in the second movie at the beginning, right? After the Avengers, he tried to take over the world. They beat him. He was taken back to Asgard to be a prisoner, and he's kind of just in the gates below, or some prison cell that they're carrying him in, right? And like throughout, during the course of the movie, the Dark Elves want to attack Asgard. There is this elf. I don't remember his name. It's not important. He kind of sneaks into the prison cells. Like, I believe he fakes. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He sneaks into the prison cells, and he starts freeing all the prisoners. He does not free Loki though, but Loki, this guy's trying to like start a riot to get the elves access into Asgard. Loki basically tells this guy to like directions on where to break the shield, so like the elves won't have to break it themselves and they can get easy access. So the guy goes up and he breaks down the shield that protects Asgard, and the elves like come flying in with their ships and they start attacking everybody. And Malekith basically, I can't remember exactly how he gets in there, but he's looking for Jane Foster, right? As he's looking for Jane Foster, he sees her and she's like running into a room, right? Mm-hmm. He runs into this room and he sees Jane right next to Frigga, and then Frigga breaks the illusion. She is basically the one that taught Loki all of her magic, and she tricked Malekith into coming into that room so that she could, defend Jane. They do not want him to get the Aether. They have a little bit of a fight, and it ends up being that I don't believe Malekith kills her, but I believe the guy that sneaked into the prison, I think his name's Curse or something. Curse like ends up killing her, and it's Loki's fault. Loki is the person that set these people on the path to end up killing the only person that he actually cares about, like deeply, and he set them on this path. And they end up finding Jane, I believe. Do they? I don't really remember, but it's not important. Basically, the elves leave, and they have this funeral for Frigga, where like they sail her on a boat that sails off of Asgard, because Asgard's flat. But as the boat sails away, they like fire like a lot of flaming arrows, and it's kind of like a beautiful scene. And we also get a scene pretty close after that where Thor goes into Loki's prison cell, and it's the first time Thor has really gone to see Loki since he put him in there. And Thor's pretty silent at first, and Loki, he looks clean. He looks like like nothing's bothered him, like he doesn't give a fuck. And he says to Thor, like, "Oh, Thor, what are you doing here? Like, you haven't come to visit me since you put me in here. Did you come to gloat? Did you come to mock me?" And Thor is just, he looks at him and he says, "Enough with the illusions, Loki." And Loki like takes down the illusion, and he looks like a pile of shit. Like he's destroyed the room, stuff's all over the place. His hair's like a mess. He looks like he hasn't slept. And this is just like, in my opinion, some subtly, well, not maybe not subtly good writing, but good writing, Like, he knows what he did. He's frustrated at himself, and it eventually leads to him teaming up with Thor to go stop the Dark Elves. And like it's the only, like, I don't know, I think this is like beautiful in my opinion. This is great. This is like, I love seeing this shit in like MCU movies. This is great writing, and I think it really utilizes Loki so well as a character and utilizes his flaws so well. It's great writing, and I don't know, like Thor: The Dark World is a bad movie, but that part alone is so,
it is the glimmering hope in it. I just having you explain, it's just like, God, that it sounds so fucking awesome. It sounds so good.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It makes you really want to like Loki. It's a character you love to hate.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's just, in my opinion, a more fascinating character than like Thor in those early movies. And it's just, I don't know, it's just, it's the number one thing that I actually remember about Thor: The Dark World. And like I said, the movie isn't great, but because of this, in my opinion, it still makes it better than like some of the other movies that I can't even remember a single scene out of, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel. I think Thor: The Dark World's better. I think it's better than Eternals. I think, I don't know, there's some real stinkers in the MCU, and I think Thor: The Dark World might be on the bottom 10 list of the movies, but I don't think it belongs in the bottom 3 movies of the MCU.
You think it's getting a bit too much flack?
Yeah, no, yeah, it definitely, it's always, trust me when I say this, it is always on like the list. It's always like towards the bottom of people's lists. Like I've talked on the subreddit about how bad I think Captain Marvel is, and it's like, well, you're just crazy. You don't like Captain Marvel because you don't like women. Like, okay, man, it's not that it's a bad movie or anything. Like, Thor: The Dark World is so much worse. Shut up, dude. Shut up. You don't even know what you're. It's just the bandwagon of people that want to say it's the worst because everyone else says it's the worst. It's not great.
Yes.
It's certainly not great, but it's got something to offer.
And I feel like I'm going to be seeing a lot more bandwagon talks here in the future. But with that, I say we should start winding it down with a final question here. Why, after everything that you've said, should we, myself, the listeners, should even give the MCU a passing glance? Why should we be even interested in this? What has captivated you that you feel like it deserves as much attention as it does?
I think if you just like a really good like action movie sort of thing, and you like really well written characters for the most part, I think the MCU is for you. Honestly, like it's hard to really say. Like some people will just look at these movies like they're big dumb superhero movies, but they're given a lot more care and consideration than I think most movies. If you watch like the Fast and the Furious movies, those are big dumb action movies themselves, but like I don't know, the characters don't go on any like emotional journeys or anything in those movies. Like in the MCU, people learn stuff. People like Tony Stark in Iron Man 1 is not the same character that he is in Avengers Endgame. Like these characters grow, they evolve, they change, and it leads to a lot of heartfelt moments. Like Avengers Endgame wasn't popular because it was some big dumb action movie. It was popular because these characters that we've followed for 10 years, 11 years at that point, were reaching the culmination of their character arcs. And we were watching, we talking about Thor being a frat boy and being destructive and being, a general dick in the first movie who goes to, be fully depressed because he's lost everyone in Avengers Endgame. Like even Loki is gone at that point. He watches Loki get choked out in fucking Infinity War, and then in Infinity War he has the chance to kill Thanos and he doesn't do it because he's an arrogant, like he lets some of that arrogance come back to him, and he ends up failing the entire universe. And you can see how well that hits him in Endgame. There is no franchise out there that does that quite as well as the MCU. And yeah, I just think it's not just big dumb action movies, it's just dumb fun. And I think I just think there's something to offer there for everyone, at least until Phase 4. Fuck Phase 4.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to call it a close here. Is there anything you would like to plug before we say our farewells?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and plug my Twitch channel. That is twitch.tv/accordion coverist. That is AC.
No, that wrong plug.
Oh,
yeah, it's supposed to be your plug, not mine.
Well, no, it's my plug.
No, it isn't.
I don't plug myself.
Just go check out twitch.tv/Kululin.
No.
Honestly, he's a great guy. He's funny. He's wacky, loud. He's a joy to be around. So, I don't think you have any other form of plug, so that's what we're doing with right now. And as for me, you can check me out on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv, the Accordion Coverist. TheAccordionCoverist.
Jesus fucking Christ! I was gonna spell that completely wrong.
Yeah, you were. That's why I cut you off.
ACD. I forgot the other C and the O and the R.
Yeah, ACD. I know. I feel like you're actually trying to spell ACDC.
No, I wasn't. I was trying to spell your name, but I was like, what letters come?
No. But yeah, I have a Twitch. I also have YouTube. It's under the same name, and Twitter as well. If you're interested in this podcast, be sure to subscribe it, add it, follow it, whatever the fuck it is that you're on, whatever platform. And this is just the first of many fandoms that we're gonna get into. So if you're interested, yeah, I can speak English. Be sure to come back for more episodes. All right. Any last remarks?
Fuck Phase 4.
You heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck Phase 4. Literally take it and fuck it. Podcast out!